Good afternoon, folks. Robert Chappell here, Executive Editor, Madison365, with your daily update for Thursday, February 3rd. The COVID news is going to be pretty straightforward and easy today, so I think we'll actually hit the local news first. Just a few extra minutes there. The main story this morning was that you might recognize this as the Off-White Virgil Abloh designed Wisconsin t-shirt. This is a limited edition t-shirt that Virgil Abloh designed for the University of Wisconsin. He was a UW alum, went on to found the Off-White brand. He became the creative director for Louis Vuitton. He became just a really important figure in the fashion industry. Suddenly died. I guess not suddenly. He died of cancer at 41. Just nobody knew that he had cancer, so it seemed sudden to all of us. But he died very young at 41, just in November. The men's and women's basketball team worked with his estate to get a reissue of this shirt, and they're not selling it. They're not trying to make money on this. They're just trying to observe Black History Month and honor Virgil Abloh with this shirt, which they are going to use for their warm-ups for the month of February for Black History Month. And I spoke with the women's basketball coach, Marissa Mosley, about that, about their commitment to diversity, to understanding, to inclusion year-round, not just in Black History Month. Also today, we learned that Mandela Barnes, the lieutenant governor of the state of Wisconsin, who is running for United States Senate, continues to dominate fundraising. However, with kind of a grain of salt, in the fourth quarter of 2021, obviously this is a 2022 election, right? The Democratic primary will be August 9th, and then the general election is November 8th, I believe. I better check that. Yeah, November 8th. There are 12 candidates in the Democratic field. Barnes brought in just over $1.2 million in the fourth quarter of 2021. Ron Johnson, the incumbent, brought in $711,000. But very installed here, Johnson didn't announce that he was running again until January. Right? There was speculation that he would, but he was clearly still fundraising, but he wasn't fully running. So that might explain a lower total for him. Alex Lassery, who is executive vice president of the Milwaukee Bucks, brought in $473,000 in that quarter. And then Sarah Godlewski, the Wisconsin State Treasurer, who's also running for Senate, brought in $361,000. Now, so Barnes continues to dominate the field in terms of fundraising, sort of month to month. However, Lassery, Godlewski, and Johnson all have more cash in the bank. Johnson, obviously, because he's been running since 2010, right? And you get to carry money over from one election to the next, right? So he's got kind of a war chest built up. Lassery and Godlewski both gave themselves significant contributions. Godlewski has $1.3 million in the bank. Lassery had $1.12 million in the bank. Lassery gave himself a personal loan, gave his campaign a personal loan of $2.35 million, and Godlewski loaned her own campaign $1.43 million. Mandela Barnes hasn't done either of those things. So he's still got, he hasn't contributed his own money to the campaign at all. He has $1.1 million in the bank. Lassery has $1.12 million. Godlewski has $1.3. So, and as I mentioned, Johnson has $2.5 almost million in the bank. So it should be a wild race as it gets ramped up here as we go through 2022. Just a couple more things here I want to mention locally. One City Schools, the Black focused, right now it's K through 4. It's going to go up to high school starting next year. It's a charter school. It got a bomb threat today. A bomb threat on social media. So it wasn't somebody called the school. Like somebody posted a bomb threat on social media. We have very little details. There is a person of interest in custody. At least there was this morning. We heard about this about 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock this morning. And there haven't been a lot of details. It's not clear whether this is all related to the HBCU threats that have been taking place over the past week. But we'll have more information and we'll share more information as it comes in. Finally today, Lakeview Elementary School on the north side is going all in on Black History Month, and including especially the art of La Letter G, which you see here. The story is on Madison365.org if you want to take a look. Really fun stuff they have going on at Lakeview Elementary on the north side for Black History Month. So let's hit COVID real quick here. Like I said, it's not going to take too long because the news is pretty good, not very complicated. 4,679 new cases on average for the past 7 days. That's down about 500 since yesterday. That includes 4,781 confirmed cases just today. It's just such a dramatic drop off. It's quite remarkable. The 7-day positive test rate is finally below the 2020 peak, 17.3%. Back in 2020, in the height of it, the worst of it, we peaked at 17.5 on November 12, 2020. We blasted through that in January. Like we got up to 30% in January of this year. Now we're back down to 17.3, which is decent news. Hospitalizations also continue to fall rapidly. 1,387 currently hospitalized. That's down 55 from yesterday. That's down 387 from a week ago. 278 currently with in the ICU. That's the first time we've been under 300 there in quite a while. That's 18 fewer than yesterday. That's down by 84 in the past week. And the best news of all, maybe, that the 7-day death average continues to fall as well. You would expect, given that the deaths reflect the cases from a month ago. Cases are still going up a month ago, so you'd expect deaths to continue going up right now, and they're not. It's down to 22 deaths per day. That includes 19 confirmed deaths yesterday. I am really surprised at that. I'm happy about it. Obviously, we'll continue to watch that. I would still expect that's going to go up as we confirm more deaths that happened in January during the Omicron surge. It might turn out the Omicron surge was just way less deadly than Delta or Beta or any of the other ones, which would be great news. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we will see. Now, there is that new variant in town, the Omicron BA.2 or 0.2 or however you say it. Dr. Jeff Potthoff from UW Health did speculate publicly that will not lead to another spike, but that it might lead to a slowdown of the decline, right? Right now, we went way up in January. Now we're going really fast down in terms of number of cases. It's almost like a straight line up and then a straight line down. And Dr. Potthoff was speculating that the introduction of a new variant might slow that down. It might become like a little bit less steep of a decline, but that it would not lead to another spike. We will wait and see if it does. It has been identified in Dane County. It is 1.5 times more contagious than regular Omicron, which is, by the way, up to like 5 or 6 or 10 times more contagious than regular original COVID, coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2. Okay, so that's bad news in terms of infection. But if we've gotten enough vaccine done and there's not as much virus out there right now, it might be pretty manageable, and we might continue this downward trend just a little bit slower. Okay, so for now, you got to keep masking up in Dane County until March 1st, a couple more weeks. If things continue to decline, I wouldn't be surprised to see that mask mandate just expire. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll be back tomorrow with another update for you. Hopefully the news continues to be good. All right. Until then, have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
This is 365 Media.